Warriors. Welcome to episode 4 of our Warrior Podcast.
We're doing this.
Yeah. If you don't know me, I'm Master Ray, and we're here with Miss Yap.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us again.
Episode 4. Woo!
Yeah.
Okay, time flies. That's why we need to invest time and get the most out of it.
That's right. That
So
is right.
today, everyone, we're going to talk about 2 topics that are very important that we need to understand. First one is going to be competition. What is the real meaning of competition, and how can you use it to really win in life?
Yeah. It's definitely a growth tool, right? Because you can compete against others, and then you can compete against yourself.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people misunderstand, and because of that, they don't get a chance to really enjoy competition.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that. Number 2, we're going to talk about fear. And that is a big one for a lot of people.
Yes.
And again, it's all about association, understanding what it means, because what you give a meaning to is what defines that actual thing.
Right.
So we're going to talk about those 2 today. And
You said fear, and all I could think of is like my number one fear,
Okay.
and that is lizards.
lizards.
Especially
so you're
the
like Mr.
white
Magalia.
ones.
Really?
I'm so scared of
Okay,
those
so
white
today,
lizards.
right here on this podcast, you're gonna see how I'm gonna help Miss Yap overcome her fears of very tiny, small white lizards. Okay?
Do we have one here?
I have one in the back.
No!
It's actually one of our students. No.
No.
So, let's start first before we tackle that part.
Yeah.
Competition. Okay.
Sweating now.
What is it to compete?
What is it to compete?
Yeah, so to compete, the real meaning of competition signifies you conspire with somebody. And what the real understanding that we have to get from it is that when you compete, you're not competing against someone, you're competing with someone. So write that down, guys. That's like the takeaway we talked about.
That's a good one.
I compete with people, I don't compete against people.
True.
And let me show you the difference. So, competing with someone is, my goal is to be my absolute best.
Yes.
My goal is that my partner, my competitor, is the absolute best.
Yes.
And together, we're gonna challenge each other to take us to the next level in performance. So whether he wins or I win, that's not the concern.
No.
The concern is that at the end of the competition, that person and myself are better than we were before.
Right, because you actually put your best foot forward and you did that thing, which is to compete.
That's it. So this is a big part. And we have a warrior games that we have in our programs that's meant for that. It's meant to teach students, because of course we're preparing them for life, is to teach them how to compete with people. And it starts with mindset, because it's all about attitude. So let's say I'm gonna compete with somebody in our warrior games.
Yes.
And if I'm gonna compete with Michael, and Michael and I are gonna be in the same group, right? When I go there, my goal is to be my absolute best, because of course the target is to win.
Yes.
His target is to win. We're both going for it.
Both want to be winners.
Now, at the end, the outcome, because I pushed myself and he pushed himself, we were able to grow from the experience. Now, if he wins, I'm happy about it. Why? Because he was able to not only get there, but he helped me learn lessons from my competition. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I underestimated him. Maybe I didn't train hard enough. Whatever the reason might be that he got the win, it allows me to sit back and learn from the experience, take notes, and adjust for next upcoming competitions.
Smart. Has there ever been a competition in your life that you didn't win at? And how did that affect you and change your frame of thought?
So I think this is, I was talking to a parent yesterday.
Yes.
Of a student that's a black belt that's preparing for competitions. In order for you to succeed, you have to fail.
So scary to fail, though.
But that's, again, it comes to the
part of it.
association of loss.
Yes.
In order for you to win, you have to lose. There's really no way. And then you say, like, let's put it into a professional level, like Mayweather is undefeated.
Undefeated.
He's
Amazing.
50 and 0, but that's not the case because in his training sessions, he got losses. There's a lot, in order for you to really get to that elite level, you can say, okay, I got a gold medal or I became a world champion. You had losses behind the scenes.
Yes. You have to.
You
Because you
have
have
to.
to learn from those. To grow.
Absolutely. In order for you to level up, you have to learn there's something that I didn't do as good as I do now.
Right.
Whether it's the defense, movement, footwork. So the same thing. In order for you guys to win, this is the biggest preparation for my parents and audience out there, my students. You have to understand that it is completely part of the process to lose in order for you to win. Because when you do something in the beginning, you can't expect to have experience at it. Let's say I do my first competition. Let's say I teach my first class. Let's say I open my business. You have no experience.
Right.
You might learn from coaches and mentors, but it gives you opportunity to know, but you still got to go through it. And that's what makes the champion. You have to learn from that.
Yes.
So yes, there's been a couple of cases in my career, whether it's competition-wise, that I lost behind the scenes and in the ring, and then also in my personal life. The experiences that I learned in 2025, there was a lot of learning lessons for me, whether it comes to relationships or business, but it taught me so much, and I take that as a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
You have two routes that you can take. You can take the route of the loss helps me get better, which is an enhancement to my life, or the loss helps me get worse, which is brings my life down. So you got to ask yourself, which one would you prefer?
Yes.
Which one would you prefer? The one that enhances, up.
Yep. Up,
right?
up. It's the only way to
So,
go.
and it comes all with connection association. What you think of, what you give meaning to losing and what you give meaning to winning. So for everybody to take home and really implement in your life in 2026, every experience is an opportunity for growth, whether it's a first place win or a loss. They're all learning sessions to this beautiful university of life that teaches you every single day. So that way you can always have a great attitude. Because I'll tell you guys a very important thing that changed my life is losing is not what makes you a loser.
No.
The way you deal with losing is
the
what
way you
makes
think
you a
about it.
loser. So
Right.
if you complain, if you whine, if you blame others, if you create excuses, that's what makes you a loser. But when you lose and you say, no, great job, congratulations, you go back and say, you know what did I do that I could have done better? When you take that ownership and responsibility that we always talk about in order for you to win in life and understanding the power of black belt, which is taking responsibility.
Right.
Then, right there on the spot is when you actually become a winner.
Yes. So you could have lost the physical battle, but you always need to win the mental one.
That's it, and it's always with a positive attitude. I love this book with Grandmaster Clark. It's The Way of the Warrior, the attitude. It's a fantastic book. We're gonna put it there so you guys can see it. I'll show it
should
next
read it.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic small book, but it's so powerful. It's actually
Got
gives
everything you need.
Not only does it help you understand what's the black belt attitude or champion attitude, but it also you can do exercises there, so it engages on how you need to learn from it.
Good read.
Yeah. So, competition is part of life. You need to embrace it. You need to enjoy the process of it, and you need to go for it. I'll tell you guys to finish out on competition. Do not sit on the sidelines. Do not be a spectator. Don't watch from the bench, because here's the deal. If you watch from the bench, there's no progress for you. There's no experience, there's no preparation. You do not get any better. You actually see others get better, you see others grow, you see others learn, you see others win, but you just get stuck because you're spectating. And in life, a lot of people spectate and see other people win massively, but they don't.
No, they're gonna stay behind while everyone else keeps moving forward.
So I'll give you an action step to everybody out there.
Write it down.
Ready? Get in some kind of competition. Whether it's with your brother, your sister, your mom, dad. Compete with them, not against them. because you want them to do their best and you want to do their best and you want both of you guys to win.
Right.
It's called that win-win agreement, right? If I compete with you, the goal is for you to get better, I get better. Whoever gets first, that's just the way it is, but what matters is that we both learn from the experience. So go ahead and grab your brother, sister, do a little competition of how many push-ups we can do. Let's do it for the month. Let's just practice some push-ups and then let's just compete. Or sit-ups, or you know what, for my families out there that are trying to get healthier, let's set a competition to lose 5 pounds. And compete with somebody, because the beautiful thing about competing with somebody too is they hold you accountable. We call it an accountability partner.
Yes.
If you don't have an accountability partner, sometimes you might just kind of talk your way out of it. But if you find an accountability partner, they're gonna check on you, and that's when you have to be like, okay, I must do it because I did tell them we were. So take some action on that. So in 2026, compete. Just like in our Warrior Games that we help everybody to compete with everyone, I want you guys to do the same.
What would be the one thing you tell a student who this is their first time competing, they've been training for about 6 months or so, and they just don't feel like, I'm not ready. Like, what would you tell them to bring them on the mat to compete?
That's a great question. I tell everyone all the time, there's gonna be a bunch of times in life where you're gonna have an opportunity and you're not gonna be ready for it. Do you take the opportunity or you just let it slide by?
You gotta take it.
Take it, even if you're not ready, that does not matter. A lot of times you're not gonna be ready. So I tell a student, don't worry if you're not ready. The only thing you need to go is get in the mix, go out there. You get an opportunity to win. You don't know, because at least you're in the lineup.
Yes.
So you might get second place. That's still better than no participating
no place
at all.
Right, that's true.
I had one time with a student, right, and I think he knows if he hears this podcast. He called me and said, I'm sorry, I'm not going to test in the Krav Maga, advanced Krav Maga. I don't feel ready. I said, okay, sir. And he's a fantastic student, A+ in our school. And I told him, I said, sir, well, there's 2 routes. I want you to tell me which one's the best one. You can either come test in our advanced Krav Maga testing and get a 45 or a 50%, or you cannot show up and you get a 0%. When I told him, he answered on the phone and said, I'll be there.
Yes. Sometimes you need that to change that mindset.
Well, that's a very important number. What do you prefer, 50, 46? For a lot of people, that's a horrible number. It's like an F.
Yes.
But a 0
better than not
is
showing up.
nothing.
Yes.
There's nothing. So I would tell that student, it's not about you being ready or not. It's about going out there and doing your absolute best. And this is another thing that I tell them. And this is very important for my parents out there. We gotta use positive reinforcement. Because if my son, my daughter, or for the parents out there, right, if you go and compete,
Yes.
and you don't have the outcome you wanted, and I am upset with you, and I make you feel that it was your fault, and then they won't enjoy competition.
Ever.
And then that's not gonna help them later on in life, because when they feel like they have to compete, they'll immediately just pull back.
Yep.
So when I tell a student, okay, you're gonna go compete, you're not ready, do your absolute best, have fun, I tell them, enjoy the experience, and I tell my parents to make sure that you give them a big hug and you congratulate them for taking action to actually competing. And that's what makes them proud.
Step.
And if the parents are there and support them, then the kids are gonna feel, wow, you know what? I did it.
Yeah.
Okay? So then that is with competition.
Yes.
Now let's talk about the next one. Next one is gonna be what we call fear.
Fear. Ouch.
Now.
How about that lizard? Where's
Yeah, here it comes. The day was coming right here.
It was so close.
So, and then fear can actually interrupt from you competing too.
Oh,
Okay?
yes.
It's a big one. So, there's 2 definitions of fear that have really helped me change my perspective, my interpretation, and my meaning of what fear really is. And I'll tell you guys a personal story after that from my dad. But there's 2. Write this one down. Ready? Fear.
Yes.
You can write it down too there.
I take notes
So
too.
the first definition of fear is false expectations appear real. I'm gonna say it one more time so you guys can write it at home, because you gotta remember it forever. It's stuck with me. False expectations appear real. That's what fear is for me.
Goosebumps.
That's number 1. The other one that I like is, which is connects to how you're gonna deal with it, is face everything and rise.
That's a good one.
Face everything and rise. And those two meanings for me help me say, you know what? I'm not going to be afraid of anything. I'm not afraid. After I learned that, I never say the word fear. I never
You
say the
don't
word.
give it the meaning that
I don't give
is
it power.
associated
I don't give
with
it power.
Right, exactly.
It's like there's no power to fear for me. So fear or I'm afraid does not come in my vocabulary. And I think that's part of the black belt because anything that's negative, that's self-talk, is not going to empower you.
No.
So we don't say I can't. We don't say I doubt. We don't. So that vocabulary is powerful because it allows you to be in control.
That's right. And another powerful thing that we do here at the school, all of our schools, is when we step on that mat, what do we say?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. No, it's not no, I can't. It's
correct.
always yes, I can.
That's it. And you're training your
mentality.
mind to talk to you the right way.
That's right.
So those two definitions were powerful. And for me, starting first with a personal story, and this is kind of connected. My dad is military, and he's very strong, and I really appreciate my dad for being that way because he strengthened me too later on in my life. And I used to be afraid of the dark. I used to be afraid of heights when I was a kid. I used to be afraid of spiders.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, and I used to be afraid of heights.
Oh no.
So my dad taught me how to face that. So
How did he? Did he like
well,
take you
this
up?
was in Venezuela. I don't know if it works nowadays, but my dad, if I was afraid of the dark, he would put me in a room and close the door. And then he would say, close your eyes and count to 10. And when you open your eyes, you're going to be able to see. And it's true. The darkest you can do is when your eyes. So when you open, you see shades.
Right.
So it kind of helps you see the furniture and stuff. So then that's how I faced. I was afraid of spiders. In Venezuela, there's tarantulas. He put tarantulas all over my body.
I don't think we can do that here.
Yeah, I don't think
I
we
think
can.
we'll get in trouble
We
as
can get a
parents for
mechanic
doing
one.
those
So you can. But the concept of that, even the heights, he put me in the building and put me on the edge of the balcony and looked down.
no.
That one was the one I remember the most.
He Michael Jacksoned you, or
That's
he
it.
just
I was
held
like,
you
"Ooh,"
over?
and I went, oh, after that, for sure. But I'll tell you guys what,
Right.
the concept is not parents don't go home and buy a tarantula and put it on their kids.
We know better. We wouldn't.
But it's the message, which is face it.
Yes.
Face your fears. Okay, and a
Yeah.
lot of times the thing you're afraid is the thing that you need to actually do.
Right.
And it could be a decision, right? You could be afraid of making this decision. You could be afraid of going to this interview. You could be afraid of going to this training session. You could be afraid of so many things. And that stops you from facing it, which will allow you to have that freedom or have that growth in that area.
Yeah, because the fear will show up right before that breakthrough.
That's it.
So you just got to take that leap.
Yep. And so then the biggest message here is to understand the meaning of fear, which it doesn't exist.
No.
I think
Out of your head.
I heard this great story about two men went into this house, right? Closed, there was nothing, it was empty house, kind of those old scary movie houses. And one man, right, went to sleep, and he's like, you know what? It is so quiet in here.
Yeah.
He's like, it's super relaxing, it's peaceful. He went to sleep, slept like a baby. Other man, same house, was afraid of the dark and believed there was ghosts.
Yeah.
And guess what happened? He couldn't sleep at all because he thought there was a ghost here. He saw a shade. Then he heard something and it was a little mouse, but he thought it was a big, chupacabra, boogeyman.
Oh my God.
And
No, it was Casper.
he was friendly, so I don't even know why he's upset. But the message is, it was the same house, two men, they both had different experiences. And that's because what you gave meaning to and what you focused on and the power you gave it.
That's right.
So, audience, parents, family, get this association, and anything that you feel that you're afraid, or you say, I'm afraid of doing this, go ahead and do it.
Just do it
Just
like Nike.
do it like Nike. Yes. Just do it. And the best way is don't think, just take action. Make that call, send that message, schedule that training session.
Make it happen.
Make it happen, because fear is really just something that you create in your mind.
Yes. We got to clean that mind up.
Yeah. So these are two very powerful topics that we talk about, because to develop mastery in the warrior training systems from white to 6th degree, you have to understand how to master your life, and that is mastering your inner world. And that is in your mind, it's in your heart, and you need to understand that you are in control. You create everything that you see. Your reality is based on what you tell yourself is reality. And once you have that control and you give that right meaning, you will be empowered and you will be the victor in your story.
Yeah, and you're going to win in 2026.
That's it. That's our goal. And that's why we started this podcast too, because we know there's so many people out there that need to hear this kind of information.
Yes.
Need to hear these lessons, these strategies, these tips. And we already got great feedback from the last podcasts.
Thank you,
of
guys.
parents. Yeah, we really appreciate it, because parents, and families, they were like, whoa, this is so good. I can listen to it when I'm driving. It's going to help me. It's
And they
going to
can
give
listen
me.
to it with their children as
Yeah,
well.
and it's just great energy to hear these kind of things, because it gives you what we call hope. It gives you faith. It gives you feeling of that, yes, I can do it. The same thing on the mat. Yes, I can.
Right.
And that kind of energy is what creates champion in life, creates your success.
Speaking of champions in life, I mean, we're going to have a few champions on the mat this weekend because of
Yes.
our Warrior Games. My favorite thing to watch is the sparring.
Yeah, the
I
sparring.
love watching these kids spar because you see what they've learned from either you or Mr. Magadia or whoever they're training with, and they're using what they've learned and just putting it all on the mat.
And I'll tell you guys something real good about sparring. Sparring's not fighting. We never fight. Warriors, we don't fight. We only protect ourselves. So we learn about safety. But what sparring does is teaches you two very important things: self-control and self-defense. Self-control is because you're learning how to use your body, you're understanding range, you're understanding timing, you're understanding
Yes.
speed, which allows you to make contact but never hurt your partner.
No.
So it's very good for them to know that, because that physical control also becomes an emotional control.
Yes. Let's talk about self-control in our next one.
Absolutely.
That's a really
that's
good
a good
one.
one. Yeah. And then
Yes.
sparring, of course, is safety. So in life, if our warrior students get ever encounter a bully or a stranger or somebody that wants to hurt them, they'll have the tools, mentally, physically, and emotionally, to protect themselves and stand up for themselves against that.
Amen. Yes.
Yeah. So, but we can talk another podcast about more in depth on how you develop that self-control and safety. Because self-defense is a very important subject to talk about, because people think it's just physical. No.
No.
It's mental and
no.
emotional. Yeah, it's mental and emotional. But we'll save that for next time, okay?
Yes. So I said my favorite part. What's your favorite part?
Of the
Of
Warrior
Warrior
Games?
Games, yeah.
Well, I just talked to an instructor that, I'm so grateful, because this is my life, right? Martial arts is just who I am.
Yes.
And I love every part of it. Now, forms is beautiful to watch.
It's true.
Because
to see their expression.
That's the art of martial arts,
Yes.
That's not the military part.
True.
That's the beauty of it, The Kaizen form is so based on the fundamentals that if you we talk about the mastering something is you make the basics look advanced. That technique. So forms, I gotta say, one of my favorites. Sparring I love, because sparring is really, it's like a game of chess.
Yes.
Weapons are nice, and then of course board breaking, but I like the board breaking part, because the board breaking is really more of the, am I physically fit? Am I strong physically, emotionally to break that board in one shot? So, but I love all of it. I say there could be which one I like the most, which is probably forms of sparring, but other than that, everything is just beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you, Master Ray, for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for being a part of it.
Of course.
Because we were looking for a team member that we could do it, and Demi Shap's just the perfect candidate to help me on this podcast. I appreciate you.
Like you, I'm falling in love with martial arts.
Yes, she is. She's a big part of our school. She's always involved. She goes the extra mile. She's exactly what our staff members need to be.
Thank
so
you,
we
sir.
appreciate you.
Thank
And then for our parents, our students, our audience, next episode we have a special guest. So
Can I say who?
No. No, you gotta stay tuned. We're gonna go ahead once a month, have a special guest, and we have so many because our Warrior family is worldwide. So stay tuned. And make sure you like, share, and comment. Now, we just had our YouTube channel, is Karate America, powered by Warrior Martial Arts. So please make sure you
I'm gonna
subscribe.
subscribe.
Yeah,
I haven't
subscribe.
yet.
Please make sure you do that. Also, our social media. And get in the mix, share, because really what this is all about is adding value and contributing to the world, to as many people as they can, as we can. So let's spread we call it the warrior green wave.
Yes,
let's
I
spread that
love
warrior
that.
green wave of what a mindset or what a warrior is, how it's gonna empower you, and let's help other people, because the gift of living is giving.
Giving, that's right.
Okay? So parents, family, guests, audience, till next time, see you on the mat.
Bye, guys.